Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and I'm going to be working through the foldable or one-step equations. And you'll want to write everything that I write down. You'll want to write it down in your foldable. So we're going to be solving one-step equations. We're not going to be doing two-step equations, not today, not two-step. Okay. But we are going to be doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's go ahead and work through these, and you'll write these steps down. And then you're going to have two activities that you're going to have to do, kind of proving that you know how to do this. So here we have y plus 6 is equal to 9. So right now I'm adding 6 to 9. I'm sorry, we'll try that one again. I'm adding 6 to y, and to get y by itself, I have to undo this operation or do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 6. My y remains the same. My 6 goes away, my equals comes down, and if I subtract 6 on this side of the equals, I have to subtract 6 on this side. That's called balancing. We have it in science where we balance chemical equations, and we have it in math where we balance algebraic equations. So 9 minus 6 is 3, so my answer is y is equal to 3. We change colors here. Okay, so I have x plus 3 is equal to 1. So I need to undo this plus 3 by subtracting 3. My x comes down. Plus 3 minus 3 is nothing. My equals comes down. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So I have x is equal to negative 2. Okay, let me change my colors. Okay, here I have negative 3 is equal to a plus 4. Again, my whole goal is to get the variable on its own. So right now I'm adding 4, and I need to get rid of that. So I'm going to get rid of 4. My a is going to come down. My equals comes down. And if I subtract 4 on this side, I need to subtract 4 on this side. Negative 3 minus positive 4 is going to be negative 7. So if I want to write it the other way, I can. This is the same thing. Okay, and the last problem in this top group, I have 14 plus m is equal to 20. I need to get rid of the 14, so I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract. My 14 goes away, my m remains, my equals remains. 20 minus 14 is 6, so m equals 6. Okay, and then number 5, it says the sum of a number and 3 is negative 2. Find the number. So the sum of a number, x, and plus 3 is equals negative 2. So now I can do exactly what I've been doing in the top. I need to get rid of the 3, so I'm going to subtract it. My x comes down. My 3 goes away. My equals comes down. And then I need to subtract 3 from this side, which gives me negative 5. So I have x is equal to negative 5. And that's addition. That's equations, one-step equations involving addition. Now, addition is one of my happiest ones. Addition and multiplication are wonderful. Subtraction and division are different. Okay? They have a couple of different rules that hopefully you will see here. So here I have x minus 2 is equal to 1. And what I normally say is, if the variable is first, you're going to add. So here I'm subtracting 2 from the variable, so I need to add 2 to get rid of it because I want x by itself. My equals comes down, and whatever I do to one side of the equals, I have to do to the other. This goes away. I have x is equal to 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. Let me get another color here. Okay. Here, kind of the same thing. Y minus 3 is equal to 4. I'm subtracting 3, so I'm going to have to add 3 to get rid of it. My y comes down. This goes away. My equals, what I do to one side of the equals, I do to the other. This is 7. I get y is equal to 7. Okay. All right, here I have r minus 4 is equal to negative 2. So I'm going to have to get rid of the 4. Okay, r is going to remain. This goes away because negative 4 plus 4 is nothing. This is equals negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2, so r is equal to 2. And the last one up here, I have negative 9 is equal to q minus 8. In all of these, I have had the variable first. I'm going to have to do one where the variable's second because that means you subtract. So hopefully we'll see that sometime. So I'm going to have to add 8 here, which means I'm going to add 8 over here. I need q by itself. This goes away. Q comes down here. My equals comes down. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1, and that's my answer. All right, let's see. If you decrease a number by 4, so x minus 4 is equal to negative 5 is, so again, it's the same thing. I add 4, my x comes down, this goes away, equals comes down. We're going to add 4 to this side as well, and I get negative 1. So x is equal to negative 1. It's not showing me the second, when it's second. I'll have to see if I can find an example. Multiplication. Okay, so multiplication is a good one because you're always going to divide. So right now I'm multiplying 4 times something and I'm getting 20. And even as I say it out loud, you might say, oh, Mrs. Ross, Z is 5. That's right, but let me show you how this works. Since I'm multiplying this, I have to undo that operation to get Z by itself. So I'm going to have to divide, which is the opposite of multiplication. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 4 over 4 here is 1, Z. But we normally don't put the 1, so you'll see that here in a minute. My equals comes down. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So my answer, you can write it 5 is equal to Z, or you can write it Z is equal to 5. In algebra, we don't write this number in front of it. Okay? Just some things are invisible for some reason. Okay. Here I'm going to have to divide by negative 8 to get the G by itself. So negative 8 over negative 8 is 1G. My equals comes down. I'm going to divide by negative 8 over here. You don't know this yet, but when you divide a positive by a negative, you get a negative. So this is negative 3. So I have G is equal to negative 3. We're actually going to talk about that this week. Here I have negative 6 times E, so I'm going to have to divide by negative 6. I'm going to have to divide this side by negative 6, and my equals is going to come down. Negative 6 over negative 6 is 1E, 1 times E. 30 divided by negative 6 is negative 5. So I could do negative 5 is equal to E, or E is equal to negative 5, because we don't have to put the 1 there. And last one in this row, I have negative 9. H is equal to negative 72. Negative 9, negative 9. We're dividing by negative 9 over negative 9 is 1H. My equals comes down. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. So I have H is equal to 8. All right, and then the product, which we know is multiplication, of a number, x and 5x, equals, or is, negative 35. So I'll divide by 5. 5 over 5 is 1x. My equals comes down. Negative divided by a positive is a negative, so this would be x is equal to negative 7. All right, so far so good. Let's do division. We'll see how they did this. All right, it looks like all of their variables are in the top. It's not always like that, so I'm going to have to make another video for division and subtraction because those are the booger bears. Right, so x over 4. So x divided by 4 is equal to 7. Now the opposite of division is multiplication. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do x over 4, and I'm going to multiply it by 4. Okay, what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side, right? I don't know why I'm putting them over 1 other than we're going to see that over here. So now I have 4x, if I multiply this way, over 4 is equal to 28 over 1. And I know 4 over 4 is 1, so I have 1x is equal to 28, or x is equal to 28. Now, if that was a lot of rigmarole for you, let's keep on going. Here I have negative 6 in the bottom, so I'm just going to do this up here. Times negative 6. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side, times negative 6. These are going to cancel. My m comes down. My equals comes down. 6 times a negative 6 is negative 36. Okay, here I have, it's divided by 2, so I have to multiply by 2. And I'm going to multiply this by 2. So my 2's cancel here. My r comes down. My equals comes down. Positive 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. So I have r is equal to negative 24. Okay, and here I'm dividing by a negative 3, which means I'm going to have to multiply by a negative 3. If I multiply that by negative 3, I multiply this by negative 3. This cancels, so my g comes down. My equals comes down. Negative times a negative is a positive, I believe 45. That's my answer. And then the last one, it says the quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, of a number, x and negative 4, is 5. What's the number? So I'm going to have to multiply this by negative 4. Multiply this by negative 4. These cancel. My x comes down. My equals comes down. Positive 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And that is my answer. And that's it, I believe. Let me see. Yep, that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know.